All right, everybody. So we are working on our multiplayer setup here, and we have character differentiation. We have a bunch of different characters that are able to run around and do stuff. And the issue is, at this point, we can't really affect our HUD too much. So we're going to start down that road now. All right, so let's take a look at a few things. We already have a third-person character up. You are going to need that, and the reason this is going to be really helpful for us is we're not going to have to go add this functionality into all the other ones because our other characters are children of our BP third-person character. So I want to have that one up. Then you want to go out here to our content drawer. We're going to right-click, and we're going to make a new folder. This is going to be called Interactable Items. Okay, and didn't like that already exists. Oh, hey, I've already got that in here. So I don't think I have anything in there. Okay, interactable items, that'll work. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple items, and then we're going to make a blueprint interface. Now, a blueprint interface, to get to that, from this menu, you go to blueprint, and then you go to blueprint interface right here. The prefix for that we're going to use is BPI _, and this one is going to be used for keeping track of adjusting our health. Okay, so we're just going to call this adjust health. Okay, let's go ahead and make the other two items we're going to need for this. One of them is going to be a damage actor, and the other one is going to be damage pickup. Well, let's just call it damage. And the other one's going to be kind of a health pickup. We're not really going to pick it up, but it is going to be health. Renewed health picked up for us, health increased in some cases. Okay, so we'll do health. I'm just going to call it a pickup. I'll do PU. Okay, let's go to the damage first. We're going to make this really fast. So we'll do a sphere, and we're going to need this to be up above our. All right, there we go. That's pretty good. Above our scene root, so it doesn't look like it's sitting in the ground. And we're also going to need a collision, sphere collision. I don't think that quite made it in. Collision, there we go. Sphere collision. Oh, no, I did. Never mind. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah. Okay, so sphere. These don't have to be in any specific hierarchy or anything like that, so don't sweat that. Let me go ahead and make this nice and large right here. There we go. Perfect. And we just want to make this surrounding our sphere. The sphere itself, let's see, that's our collider. I want to make sure I know the difference on those. The sphere itself, I need it to look dangerous. I need it to look like it's going to hurt you. So lasers are good for that. The laser pointer is kind of nice, but maybe there's something a little more, I kind of like that. That looks dangerous. And I'll throw on a particle system, so some fire on there should be good. Let's go over here. There we go. Yeah, a little fire looks good. Okay, it looks like it's gonna hurt you. Let's go ahead and hit compile. Let's go over to we have our damage there. Let me open up the health. Okay, so health is going to be very similar. A sphere. This one we want it to be green. I think green would be easily understood as it's supposed to be helpful. And then we'll add in a collision using the sphere collider. Let's make that bigger. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and compile that, and I want these right next to each other so I can get in and take a look at them. Okay, we've got those built. Let's go ahead and play with the BPI, the new blueprint interface. Now what this does is that it is a go-between between things that are trying to interact with each other. So instead of casting to something and we're trying to get everything about that character or that actor put into memory, all we're doing is checking to see like, hey, are you using this interface? Oh, you are, great. So we can talk to each other. And that's why it's called an interface. It can be a little confusing to some people sometimes because it sounds like it's going to be something where we're going to be clicking on keys and things like that. But really all it's doing is it's a go-between. It's an interface. So that's why they called it that. All right, so first off, we have our new function up here. I want to call that adjust health. Okay, we can call it that because the actual name of the BPI is BPI _ adjust health. And since what we're going to be doing with this is passing through information. So the damage actor is going to send like, this is how much damage I do, and that's what this output is going to be doing for us. We can use an input, and we'll probably later on we will use an input, but for now we're just going to be working with outputs, and in this case ours is going to be called health adjustment. Okay, kind of sticking to a theme here, and our health inside of the progress bar is relating to the progress bar is all handled through percentages, so we want to use a float here to keep track of all that. See here we can have 0.0, we want to get up to 1, or all the way down to 0.01 for 1%, or even 0 if they're just, you know, they're no longer with us. So I'm going to go ahead and compile that. Let's go over to our damage, and we want to apply this interface to this actor. So what we'll do is we'll go over to our class settings. We'll look at the implemented interfaces. Under add, we're going to do BPI, and there is our adjust health right there. Okay, go ahead and compile that. Same thing over on our health pickup. We're going to go to our class settings. We're going to go down here to implemented interface under details, and we're going to BPI adjust health. There we go. Go ahead and compile that. Now, what this is going to give us is a little function here on our actor saying like, hey, what kind of information do you want to send along? It's going to be this health adjustment. And for different actors, it's going to be a different type of health adjustment. So on our health pickup, it's going to be a plus. It's going to be an addition. It's going to be adding on to it. It's going to be something where we want to make it a positive thing. So over here in our variables, we're going to set up a variable for this. Now we can actually set this inside of the actual function right here, but we want to probably be able to edit this maybe from the actual level designer. So it's better to have a variable ready to go. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and change this one just so you can see like, yeah, I can have this increased by 0.5 here. And then if I wanted to over here on the damage where we have the exact same thing, I can go in here and say like, oh, I want it to subtract. So I'm going to do a minus 0.2. So it's going to subtract 20%. Okay. But since I want to be able to control it from almost anywhere, and I want to be able to find where this value is pretty easy. I'm going to make a variable here. This one's going to be called health adjustment. Okay. And needs to be a float. And for this one's going to be, let me go ahead and do the get. This one is going to be a negative. So I'm going to do minus 0.2, and then we'll go over here to the health pickup. Same thing we did over there. This one's going to be health adjustment. These are almost so much the same. I probably should have made a copy of one and then just made some small changes. All right, float. I want to make that instance editable on both of these. And let's go over here. I want to go to the default setting. On this one, I'm just going to give you half back whenever we do this. So let's go ahead and add in the health adjustment here. This is on our health pickup. Damages has the same thing, -2, 5. Okay, that looks good. And the adjust health is ready to go. We're all good there. Let's do the last bit of work we need to do, which is going to be on our third person character. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be doing some similar stuff. We need to add in the interface. So we're going to go back up here to class settings. We're going to go to, select that class settings. There we go. Let's see, I'm not seeing what I need. Oh, there's interfaces right there. It just looks a little different. It's not at the very bottom like everything else. Implemented interfaces. Let's go to BPI, just health. Okay, so now we have adjust health. Now, I already have a health and a max health variable in here, and I would suggest that you should make these. These are something that's going to be kept track of on your character for a little while until we have other things also keep track of them. But for your health in your character, you want to make sure it's a float, and we're using 1 for it to start off at. And for your max health, this is going to be something that is going to be helpful for us whenever we have to make sure we don't go over this amount, or we want to fully recharge the character's health. We have a value to go back to. Most of the time that's going to be 1, but you can always kind of fudge that and change that a little bit later. So max health is a good thing to have. Let's go to our event graph, and what we want to do is select the capsule component. That's our collider for our character. And we're going to do event, whoops, that's my touch typing there. Event begin overlap, and we want to make sure we're getting the one for the capsule component. Okay, let's zoom in there. And the way we're going to work with this and our interface is that we're going to drag off the other actor. That's the thing that just collided with us. And we're going to check and see, are you using the interface? So we're looking for implement, does object implement interface. And then we'll select our interface from this, BPI, adjust health. And from here, if it does actually use the interface, we're going to use a branch to keep track of that. And then after this branch, we're going to actually use the adjust health. So we have this here. Now this is really like, are we applying damage to something? And we can always change this. Like if we have different weapons, we can make this apply damage to other things. So that's why it's good to have a variable we would feed into this. But for the damage from the health and the damage actor itself, those are always going to be the same for what we're doing right now. For ourselves, if we're going to be taking damage, or we're taking this back from something else, or we're taking this information from something else, we're going to get a message. So what we'll do is we're going to look for adjust, oops, got to spell adjust right, adjust health, and we want to get the message, the one that says message on it. This means we're actually getting something from somebody else. You'll know it's the right one because it's got a little envelope on there, and this is the information coming from the other actor through the interface. Okay, so we're going to go right here. We're going to connect this up so we know where to apply that health change. And we're going to take our health right here. We're going to get what we currently have, and we're going to add this together with the health adjustment. Where it's coming from the damage, it'll be a negative, so this will still work out. It'll just subtract it from whatever we currently have, or it'll add to it, and this plus just handles either one, either way, no matter what kind of health we're applying to it. Then we need to set our health. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do that here, and that's going to update. And for the time being, we would just want this to go to a print string. Okay, so we can see it on our screen. And that should do it. Let's go ahead and add our damage and health actors to the scene, and let's test it out. Okay, we're going to walk over here, taking damage to 0.8, 0.6, 0.4. Okay, let's go over here to our health, which looks like we're going to need to pull that one up a little bit more because it's sitting in the ground. But for what we're trying to do, it works just fine. We touch it again, and now we're at 1.4. Now we're going to get probably 1.9 when we touch it again. Yep. So one thing we're going to want to put on this is we need to add a clamp to our character. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and change this real fast just so this is not floating there, or not sitting in the ground anymore. I want it up off the ground. There we go. Maybe even floating a little bit. That'll be fine. Let's check the damage as well. It's doing well. Okay. Let's go back to our third person character. What we're going to put on this is called a clamp. Okay. So what a clamp does is it clamps it within a certain range of numbers. For us, that's going to be 0 to 1. So from here, we're going to do clamp float. Okay, there's clamp float right there. And this is where our max health is going to come in handy. We're going to drag that in. We're going to drag that right into our max, and our minimum is going to be 0. We don't want it to go below 0. And we'll hook this up right here. Hit compile, and let's make sure this is going to work for us. Got enter, and we hit damage. Let's see if we can damage all the way down to nothing. 2, 1, 0, 0. Okay, cool. And it should take a couple taps, and we'll be able to be at full health over here. Okay, 5, 1. Okay, cool. So we're good there. What I want to do is show you that this also applies to each individual character. So here's our new character, 0.6, 0.8, and now if I have my yellow guy come over here, he's at 1. My red character's at like a 0.6. You'll notice that it went to 0.8. So they are maintaining their own health. Okay. Real quickly, that's our first step in getting this set up. The next one's going to be actually adjusting the score inside of the HUD.